Who's ready for another unhinged client story? I know it's been a second. I've been through a lot recently and my eye tells the story. I'm sorry, and I've gone through a lot of family events lately, so let's get into it. This one happened a few days ago. If I get through this story without crying, it will be a miracle, let's be honest. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. The beginning of September, someone who I call my second dad, he basically raised me. My mom owned a bar for 27 years. Of that, I worked there for 10 years of it. And so anyway, her business partner, Chuck, he owned the bar, brought my mom on. They owned it together for 27-ish years. So he's basically my second dad and knew me from when I was 2 years old. Like he is someone that's been in my life forever. So let's just start off with that backstory real quick. Chuck got into a really awful and fatal, finds out, car accident. He died on the 12th of September. It was hard because he was in surgical ICU for about 3 weeks. So I was there every single day for 3 weeks. And as you can imagine, work came secondary at that point. So just keep that in mind. I had a client who was scheduled later in the month, and I posted a Instagram story, saying, rest in peace, Chuck, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Melissa and her husband, Hortman, Irina, there was a whole list of people who had just recently passed away. And I was feeling the weight of the world, because, my second dad just passed away. We had to take him off a ventilator. So that being said, I posted that story a couple of days after he passed. I received an email from a client that was scheduled for later in the month. Let's name her Violet. Fuck it, I'm wearing Violet. So Violet emails me and says the wildest thing. Hi, Alyssa, I saw your story on Instagram and I just want to say fuck you and I hope that you burn in hell. That is what she said, and I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck? And at the bottom of it, she said, I need to cancel my session with you. I was so beyond confused. I responded back and I said, can I ask why in the world you would say something like that? And she said, I saw your story about your second dad who just happens to be named Chuck, and I am not a Charlie Kirk fan, so I know you're talking about Charlie Kirk and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, first of all, yes, Charlie Kirk's assassination was fucking terrible and awful, but I'm also talking about Chuck and Irina and Melissa and her husband and like all these people that were brutally murdered, except for Chuck, of course he wasn't murdered, but regardless, I was feeling the weight of the world. I felt the need to post about it, and I did, and now she's pissed. She said that what I posted was disgusting, and the fact of the matter is she can't have anyone that thinks the way I do, which doesn't make any sense. What do you mean think the way I do? What you mean be a human? But okay. I can't have anyone like that shooting my photos or taking my photos or whatever the fuck she said, however she worded it. It's wild. So being in the vulnerable position that I was in, I told her to fuck off and she's not getting a refund. And I said, you're absolutely canceled, and I charged your cancellation fee. So you will never be welcome to book with me again. And of course she was bitching about, well, you need to give me my money back. What do you mean you charged me a cancellation fee? All these people just never fucking read anything. They just don't know that there's a cancellation fee, even though they fucking signed it saying that there's a cancellation fee and that they understand. Anyway, so I said, nope, there's no further explanation. You're free to read your contract that I sent you, that you signed, but fuck you, basically. That's how I ended it.